Hey everybody, it's Chris with the Bets team. I'm hoping you're having a wonderful Friday before the Iowa State football game. It's going to be an awesome game this weekend, watching Iowa State win. Hopefully my prediction comes true. We're going to do a quick market update here. Haven't done one of these on a large scale for a while. Just been updating sellers as things are going on. We've had a fantastic year. It's been super busy. But yeah, wanted to get some stuff out there as now we're kind of starting to see some job report numbers, Fed coming out saying that they're going to start moving down on interest rates. So starting to see some movement, starting to see some positive things in the market. So wanted to do a recap of what we're seeing. So we're looking at, I always look at basically three major markets in our area. We're looking at Ames. So when we look at Ames is traditionally a very protected market, conservative market. It's just very stable. So it's fun looking at that market and seeing how it's responding. Typically when we're listing stuff in the Ames market, it's been quicker to sell than other metro markets. We're looking right around 3 months of inventory, so it's on the lower side of inventory figures. A balanced market would be at 6 months. Anything less than 6 months would be considered a seller's market still. Anything over 6 months would be a buyer's market. We've seen some smaller markets around the metro actually trending up in that balanced market category. And I would say when we start seeing 4 month marks in some of the surrounding metro areas, Bondurant, Altoona, those markets feel very slow relative to, say, Ames. One of the most interesting things when we look at different areas, pretty much all of them, we're seeing a discrepancy between the median sold price and the median list price. We're seeing typically around $50,000 of difference between the list and the sold. Meaning essentially there is a gap between the listings that are coming to market and what is actually selling in that market. So a lot of times the existing inventory has been performing better than the new construction. We look at Ankeny. We are seeing 3.4 months of inventory currently in the month of July. It's improved a little bit over June. August went up, so when we run this report again in August with updated numbers, I'm starting to see August was pretty slow. Usually is, a lot of things going on with sports, back to school, vacations. It's just a really busy month in people's lives, and so we typically see it be one of the slowest months in the central Iowa market for real estate. So we run this report next month. We get the data from August. I'm sure we're going to see this trend again more towards a balanced market. But we also have a lot of economic indicators that are going to make September, October, hopefully, very good in our local markets. Again, Ankeny is seeing a discrepancy there between list and sold. Not quite as bad, 370 to 340, so a little bit smaller gap. And Ankeny's typically got more new construction at a lower price range with larger builders, which is helping that market have maybe a more affordable options available for people. And then we're looking at Des Moines, trending closer to a balanced market, but still at 3.2, with 250 versus 225, so it's actually one of the lowest gaps between list and sold, with smaller homes being in the older neighborhoods in Des Moines selling very well this year. It's been a very good market for us this year. Johnston, more higher end homes, we're seeing a larger gap there, 445 versus 375, so one of the larger gaps in the area. With typically a lot of the homes starting around that 350 range and up in Johnston. We just don't have as many smaller affordable houses in that market. Been a good market, but it is trending up days on market, as well as the months of inventory. And what's interesting, when you're seeing these reports, you're seeing the days on market look relatively low still, and it doesn't paint necessarily a full picture of what's going on. So Ames, for example, is showing 10 days median. Well, the homes are basically either coming on the market and selling right away, or we're sitting on the market. We also don't have the new construction inventory that we did that would typically drive some days on market numbers upward. So it's driving the days on market down a little bit too over what it would typically be. Ankeny sitting about 30 days on market on average, so I would say that's more like it sold right away or sat there for 90 days kind of thing and averaged out to 30. And then Des Moines, again, moving about like Ames, 15 days there. And then Johnston, we're seeing about 20 overall. But if you're on the outskirts of town, maybe a little different property, it's different. 2 stories overall have been a tougher sale than ranch homes as well. Interesting trend here. We've really been stagnant on new construction starts. You can see this is a 3-year chart. So 2023, not real exciting on new construction starts. 2024, not exciting on new construction starts. But we are seeing a nice little trend here of new construction starts picking up at the tail end of 2025. So maybe some optimism from builders, looking at the inventory figures, and reacting to that, and maybe throwing some more homes up, which would be great. We could really use that in our market for options for buyers. When we're looking at this particular chart, we can see we peaked up on new construction starts August of 2016, almost 2,000 starts that month. Haven't really been anywhere near those figures until 2021 in the real estate boom that we've had, and we've continued to be, in that 800 start realm for quite a while. So seeing it get up in that 1,500 ballpark is really good. I'll be interested to see August, September figures on that as well. If we've continued to increase our starts, our permit pulls, and that would be a great thing to see. So overall, it's been a wonderful year for real estate. It's a lot slower. We're having to manage expectations for sellers and for buyers. I think there's a great opportunity for buyers in this current market to get some deals. We've been doing, some more aggressive offers on the buy side and seeing things get accepted. And so that's been wonderful on the buy side. On the sale side, it's been tougher to do some subject to sales where we've got a house to sell and we want to buy. So we're having to be a little more aggressive on pricing on some of those to get them to move quickly so that we can perform on the contract. Or we've been listing subject to finding home of choice and finding patient buyers that can wait out our home search and make it all work. But optimistic outlook here. The last 2 weeks we've seen after the Fed announcement some decreasing rates, and hopefully we'll see that continue on into the fall and see the housing market really start to pick up September, October before we hit the holidays. So that is our market update for this month, and we'd love to help you find or sell your next home. Again, we've had a fantastic year sitting right at the Chairman's Club level with RE/MAX, which is a fantastic accomplishment for our team. Super excited about the direction that we're headed and where we're going into the fall here. Bladen's doing a wonderful job with our property management, so continuing to see increased interest in property management. We just had a new team member, Clara, join our team, helping out with marketing. And so that's why she's forcing me to get out a newsletter for the first time in a while. She's laughing at me right now. So have a fantastic fall, and we'll be having our client appreciation event invites going out here very soon. And we hope to see you guys at the Orchard here next month. Have a great one.